It ain't no way around it. And you didn't stand like Roy, big boy, who is at the board with. He respected on gravel. Like when you said what you said, I look like, damn, this your neighborhood. You the fucking man. You know this. But you was like, man, these little niggas. Man, I ain't saying F them little niggas, but we over here and we selling food and we really like it's like a hood Chick-fil-A. We ain't known for no problems or giving nobody no problems. You get what I'm saying? So you're gonna respect that by all means, and we ain't bringing no trouble. So fast forward when we went and got Twan left, but we went to that after hour. I'm watching you from afar, but then there's other people in there, and they're going crazy with living life, and it's okay to live life. The thing that I'm trying to get you to see is that some of them same guys or some of these same people might have had an ankle bracelet on. They might got the ankle bracelet on. Or they are not saying that they gonna be victims, but we know people that is victims of this kind of society. Meaning where they really be getting caught up with a bunch of fucking money, a bunch of drugs. Things happen. Like when you take a risk, things happen. Well, my thing is just put some of it up, invest it. You just said it. You're living off from a generation from your relatives securing generational wealth. So it's only right you gonna do it for yours. That's all I'm trying to tell these young dudes. Put something up. Ain't nothing guaranteed, and it's okay to change. I'm not the same person. Listen to when I tell you this. A few years ago, now I'm sitting by myself. I might look as bummy as you, and I'm in an everyday core. But my light's on. And I don't feel no certain way. My face clean. If somebody feel a certain way about me, it's more envious. But I ain't did nothing to nobody but other than I'm not in no competition. I'm more of an influencer. With or without this situation, anybody that done been under my umbrella and they listen to me, if the shit work, let it work. If it don't, okay, you can label me the worst person in the world. But these are realities because you're living a hell of a reality. I struggled and sacrificed to get to where I'm at. And it's still not easy. You get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying to us right now today is us as a black people, put some up. Invest it. I'm not saying invest it all because you still want to live your life. You're grown as hell. You can do what you want to do. But it's okay to invest and sit back and cross your legs because you know one day what Torrance talking about, that sponge, well, they might pick up a lot of other shit, but then they're going to wake up and they're going to start picking this up. Whether something happened to you or not. They're going to be like daddy or auntie or mom or somebody sacrificed. And they go back to my little nieces. Okay, we're caught up in that. You're dead fucking right. They living on it. And we're just talking about how you got to pay for a check mark now. And guess what? That check mark getting dumb stupid money. But let's go back to our realities on a low scale. It's okay to put some money up and invest it. It's really okay to put money up and invest it, not just for your future, but for your kids' future, for your loved one's future. Because one day you're going to wake up 70. My uncle, your cousin, when you look at him as an uncle, his house paid off. It ain't the biggest house, but that motherfucker paid off.
He just got an extension on it and everything.
He's done renovated and everything.
That's
a problem.
And it's cold in there.
That's a problem.
And he came from a broken piece as well.
He left Ohio
Hitchhike.
40-something years ago and hitchhiked to California.
Yeah. Unbelievable story.
He married his wife over 35 years, 30 plus years.
Yeah, shout out to you, Uncle Dink. Shout out.
Them kind of people, my idols.
Yeah.
And we all gonna get our opportunity. If you keep living, life gonna show you. So put something up and invest it.
Let me tell you something, man. Like I said in the last episode, man, this is free game, man. You want to keep on just watching the dum-dums, or you want to start watching some people that's really trying to make a change, man?
It's okay to change.
It's okay to change, man. It's okay to break the cycle, man. You feel me? My mama, same family, same bloodline. My mama kept me away from things that was going on, like, in my bloodline, thinking she was protecting me, you know? But she was. And I thank my daddy for stepping in, but the more I hang around cousins, I understand him. You know? Speaking about the club situation, man, I love last Saturday. I love what was the play? Frost Bar. You feel me? I love that.
Oh, when we were
I love that. But that stuff a couple of weeks prior to that, Torrance, I was ready to go too, bro. You feel me? Being
Torrance
this young,
stuck it out though.
he stuck it out, but I had to get out of there. You feel me? I had to get out of there because it was just PTSD is real, bro. Because really, I started thinking like, man, I ain't really supposed to be here. And my son wasn't supposed to be where he was supposed to be that night. You feel me? It was just like, man, I love hanging around cuz that was a highlight of my night, man. Just to be out at the club. And I'm trying to sit there and be real tough and, you know what I'm saying, like stand there, but oh man, I was ready to get up out of there. You hear me? I was sitting with JFK. You feel me? What's that all about, bro?
What?
JFK.
It's an acronym. Jumping for kill.
Jumping for what?
Jumping for kill.
Oh, that's another thing, huh?
What that mean? What's JFK?
I heard somebody call Torrance JFK.
I'll explain that a lot. It's a name that the young boys they adapted. That's what I want to speak about.
Because you an OG, Torrance.
One of our greatest fears as a people, from what we come from. When we went through slavery and they kidnapped us and they brought us here. When they finally, when the Emancipation Proclamation fell through, what was it, 1865? We were to be released. We were given our freedom. But we were so scared. We were scared to death. This has been instilled in us. Fear has been instilled in us to move forward to something new. When they told us, go, you're free, do you know majority of slaves stayed on that plantation, man? Today, this is exercise. Today, we stay in our povertized way of thinking. We stay in our povertized financial situation because we are scared to chase that freedom. We are caught up in a systemic system where we just happen to be blessed to be where we are mentally, not financially. Because before the finances come, the mental has to be released,
strong,
right?
Yeah.
So majority of individuals within our African American communities, man, we are poor. It's because we are still on the plantation mentally. So when you talk about our children that are committing these acts of crimes, when you talk about our mothers and our fathers that are not doing what they're supposed to do and not pursuing generational wealth, not pursuing financial freedom, it's because we're still actually on the plantation mentally.
Can I say something real quick?
We've never been released from that. And then the TV and the phones keep us there in their own strategic way. So us moving forward, it is not that easy. So when you say, all you got to do is do this, all you got to do is save that, all you got to do is do that, that's you saying all you got to do. That is one of the hardest things for us to do because we're the number one consumer in the United States of America. We will go buy this phone before we go pay that bill.
Yeah.
We are mentally enslaved. So what you think is simplistic is not actually so simple, man. I have been blessed. I've been blessed to have value. I've been blessed to have discipline. I've been blessed to have motivation. You got people that sit at home all day, every day because they're in some form of depression. Because they're in some, you're blessed to be where you are right now because you got a lot of parents, man, that have spiraled down since they've lost their child.
Yeah.
They started smoking crack. They started smoking fit.
I started smoking a lot of weed.
That's nothing. I mean, not the best you said that like you can use something now. Look, they gone on scripts. They gone on scripts. You have people that are dying because
you know
they
what,
lost a
though,
family
Torrance?
member.
You just said some key shit. Do you know a person? Well, you just said something deep. How a person can really be sitting in the house under just depressed, and can bring that and draw that up on another person. A person can be with you and be up under you and have their own motive that can lead to depression. That's deep. But go ahead. I ain't gonna cut you off. I had to say that because when you said that, I read up on something and it made sense with what you just said.
So when we speak and we think about our people, judge them not too harshly, because we've been through a lot, and by the grace,
I don't judge.
by the grace and His mercy, I have no idea about why I'm here. Word.
You know why you here.
Well, you know the first
You know
thing
why
that
you
you
here.
know the first thing that the
It
kids gonna
has
say.
nothing
I
to
didn't
do
ask to
with
be
me.
there.
It has nothing.
I
to
tell
do
them
with
I
me.
ain't either.
They say that.
It has nothing to do with me, is what I'm saying.
No.
You got to hear me, because I'm the witness to my story. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know about my glory, but do you understand the depths of my story? Because when I have these conversations with my king, I have to thank him so many different ways, because I know if it was left up to me, I'd be dead or in the penitentiary 9 times out of 10 in a joint for a body. Because I'm the violence. I'm the guy that's gonna shoot for the disrespect. I'm the guy that's gonna get you back for taking this from you or that from me. I'm not that guy to allow that. But yet I'm here. And not only am I here, I went and knocked off a couple of degrees, so on and so forth. Everybody knows that story. My point being is, there are other young homies or brothers that are my age.
What
man,
do you
they-
say to them though?
a lot of them I can't say nothing to because they dead. A lot of them I can't say nothing to because they doing like bits. A lot of them I can't say nothing to because they sold several different ways, one way or the other. Whether or not they went upstate, had sex with a man, whether or not they done gave up 3 or 4 other individuals on cases, on drug cases. They have sold their soul and they won't even come back home. They so far gone on the negativity that they've done that they don't even know what the throne
What do you
looks
say
like
to
anymore.
ones now with a pocket full of money and just doing a bunch of dumb shit with no investment?
Now, for the current
Tap in
homie,
on what I
for
was
the
saying.
for the current homie that's getting bread, I have to relate, infiltrate, manipulate, and reconstruct his way of thinking, and that is not an easy task. Because remember how your head was when you were there. You fucking with me? Remember,
I'm hearing you.
Remember where your head was when you were there. There's somebody like down here coming to talk to you about business. Man, we getting loot, homie. We got Black Cadillac with deep dish days, and we got Maximus, and we got Big Trump jewelry, and we have faces and jellos, and you talking about a meat, and you hey man, whatever the case may be, that's what we talking to, right?
Green.
30,
What was
30,
that?
all right.
Lamborghini doors on that match.
So it's crazy, homie, because a little
All right,
nigga,
so we
a little,
talking to
little
him.
nigga up here tell me right now today when he see me, oh man, because you I'm this and that, man, I remember you. That's cold. Go ahead. Well, hear me. Well, speak for me because I want to speak to them. You know what I'm saying? We shake each other's hand. I feel the love because I go off energy. Sometimes when I feel to be around people, the energy off I don't go. But speak to them because you say they up here. He's speaking to y'all and he tapping in on where I left off at.
Example.
Because they gonna listen. I'm gonna force a few of them to listen to him.
Example, Young Thug. Young Thug went into a podcast with $1 million, with the brothers with $1 million worth of game, right? And he explained to them as if he was back in a movie called Back to the Future, exactly what was going to take place. He heard, and his boys around him heard every single word that man said. And I'd be goddamn if it didn't manifest itself to the letter, right? But Thug, hear it up. $1 million game, $1 million worth of game, homies, they there too, but they his OGs. And they already seen the shit, right? But Thug is here, and he got a vicious rat pack too. And if he don't woof these niggas, man, they'll eat him. When you around a whole bunch of wolves, when you around a bunch of wolves, you gotta stay the strongest wolf. You gotta remain the alpha, or you got individuals that are constantly going to be trying you. So here it is. He's being told by a brother. Let's say he had 50 million when he got. Let's say he had 50 million on the podcast, and $1 million worth of game had 10 million, and they 20, 30 years older than him. He hears them, but he's not listening. So to hear something is to go in. But if you don't put your hand right here so you can keep the information in, then that's when you begin to listen. So he heard him, but that shit went in his ear, through his brain, and out the other ear because his money was too far away from him.
You know, I see that's what you probably got out of it, but do you know that a person can be going through something? That go back to me tapping in a minute ago. A person can be around you and have their own motives. A person can speak with you and have their own thoughts of what they already gonna do and where they gonna be with it at.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say I don't know what happened at that interview with Million.
Well, we do, because it happened.
I don't know what happened, but I do know when dealing with street life and street people, we just seen it was a few dozen of eggs and they cracked. Now hear me out. I'm not gonna get into that. You're speaking from where you and your experience on what you know with
not
data.
my experience.
No. As far as data and how people can do this and do that, the reality of things from me knowing certain things and knowing certain people, really a good dude.
It's
Lucci really a good dude.
no, you missed my point then.
No, I'm not missing your point.
Because it wasn't about them being good or bad. It was about them. You said, how do I tell the brothers here today, from what I've been through, how do I tell them today, like, hey, don't do it like this. Do it like this. Invest in this, invest in that. Put this money into a trust. Put some money into an IRA so you can have some money when you're 60 or 70. Start looking at life like you're going to make it to 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. All I'm stating is the brother had made it, $1 million worth of game, made it past that one space. And now Young Thug is there. And so $1 million worth of game coming back to say, listen, don't just hear me. Listen, don't just hear me. But he never. Here's Young Thug. Here's $1 million worth of game. They're passing each other on the hallway of life. Hey, listen. All right. Oh, well, let me listen. Because if he keep going, then you just hearing me. And then here we go with the young brothers that we trying to talk to ourselves. We have to explain to them to get them to comprehend as well as understand what we've been through to where we are. But damn, that is hard when I'm the man. I'm the man.
I think you're right. I think you get it right to a certain extent. But it's a few of them, and they all ain't gonna listen. But I know
I'm a few. I'm a
few.
few. I'm a piece. Yeah. So I get that part.
Okay, now you
talking. But within our community, don't ever forget the reality of the situation, man.
So
is that
all of them ain't gonna hear it, Torrance.
Huh?
All of them ain't gonna get it.
No,
some is because he started to tap in with it because
I know that they're getting it because I put them on.
No, because you lived it.
No, I put them on. No, literally, I put them on. I put homies on with jobs. I put homies.
There you go. Now I'm getting back to where I was at because this is what I'm getting. You know how you say certain people say stay tuned in on this, stay doing this, and then I'm getting phone calls. What the fuck about that? Well, you ask him that now.
I'm not saying it's a brick wall.
No. I like what I'm hearing out of you now because I know you as a person.
In the first episode, I said I put on over 1,500 individuals with opportunities of employment with jobs.
I seen one on the day. I seen one on the day. They just over broke.
I took them from I shifted from selling dope and I sold them hope. And they broke it down and they created their own packs of it and sold it themselves, right, to build up their families. But also, I put homies on with career opportunities. Career opportunities, trades, this, and the third. But in recruiting and going out to talk to the people, you plan on recruiting 100 people. Do you know how many people you got to talk to in order to get to that 100?
Oh, hell yeah.
I got to talk to 5,000.
For sure.
Okay?
For sure.
So all I'm stating is the number of the odds that are stacked against me to touch those certain individuals is just stacked so heavily because I don't have all the avenues of positivity versus the avenues of negativity that are feeding that same person.
So what you think?
I'm coming at that person from one aspect when they got a whole bunch of shit coming at them. Here I stand right here, right now. One thing can't keep me safe. One thing can't keep me humble and peaceful. I need church. I need prayer. I need my grandchildren. At one point in time, I needed my stepdaughters and my wife. At one point in time, I needed my daughter. I need the affirmation from the people to say you're doing the right thing. I needed past tense verb. The Urban League, that job said, well, if you mess up, blah, 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 blah. So I got a whole bunch of shit surrounding me, and I'm standing in the middle of this room. But I'm surrounded. I've strategically surrounded myself with all type of positive shit to keep me right here. Because the devil stays consistently at me. The devil wants me to shoot. The devil wants me to fight. The devil wants me to rob. The devil wants me to loot. He comes at me every day, all day.
You got the two things on your shoulders?
Most definitely. Most definitely. But my soul is so quiet that I can hear God talking to me. Word up.
You connected.
So when that, you know how long that took? That didn't start until I came home from the penitentiary. So we talking about a whole bunch of experience. We're talking about a whole bunch of situations that we've been through that keeps us in play. But what about the brother that is inexperienced with the trials as well as the tribulations, right? So we gonna holler at 5,000 of them. But when we holler at our viewers, when we talk to our viewers, that everybody's gonna hear us. But it's only gonna be a few selected that are gonna like and subscribe where they can continue to get the message. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Please.
Click that like and subscribe. Word up.
Yes.
So we're going to talk to the masses. But even when you go to vote, when you go to vote for somebody, the campaign goes out. They want to talk to everybody on the road, but they only gonna get a handful of votes out of a blue state if you come in red. So you can talk to a whole bunch of people, but what can you do to get them to listen? That it already something has to be within them. So you talking to the masses, but you only gonna get a certain demographic of people to hear you. But those 100 motherfuckers that you talk to, you know how valuable they are? Because those individuals are gonna go out and speak to their 100.
They're gonna spread the word.
You understand me?
So
Fuck the rest. Everybody not gonna make it on this trip. But for the 100 that you touched, they gonna go out and they gonna touch people, and they're right then and there. The red pill begins to get passed versus the blue. It is a new understanding. It's like we send a grassroots brother to Washington. We don't want to pick somebody that the people already had picked out. We want to grab Antoine.
Yeah,
we want to grab Antoine. We want to groom Antoine. Yeah. We want to feed Antoine. Yeah. We're gonna keep Antoine off of social media. Yeah. We're gonna keep Antoine off the goddamn TV. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're gonna groom you, and then we're gonna send you forward into the land.
For sure. So the whole thing about it, man, is listen to the people that have walked the road before you. You feel me? So these two dudes right here, man, all I could go by is the stories that I've heard, and I heard some stories. I don't want to confirm them or not, but I also heard some other stories of the brand new lives that you lead. You feel me? You can follow the old path, or you can follow the new path that these guys are walking. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I caught them.
Got a choice.
Hey, I'm glad I caught them at this point. You feel me?
Create your path.
Yes.
Create your path.
But the whole thing is the whole thing about creating paths of black people, we want to create our own paths by ourselves, but we should start creating these paths together.
No, you're right. I was just going off of, because some individuals will say,
what do you say to the homeboy that's sitting up rolling the blunt, man? Fuck them niggas. What they talking about? Huh? What do you say to him?
Who?
The homeboy right now that his girl, or he just happened to see it on, he happened to walk in the house, that shit on. Man, fuck.
He's amongst the 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And we trying to get at the dollar.
But we're gonna get somebody in this crew.
We're trying to get out the 100.
You know what I mean? This crew.
When I started this mission,
what you say?
No. When I started this mission, when I started working for the Urban League 11 years ago, I was pushing down on people trying to force them to buy opportunity. I almost got into several fights. If the devil has control of the situation, there's nothing that you can do.
There you go.
But move on. The devil has privates. The devil has lieutenants. The devil has sergeants, captains, and majors, just like the penitentiary. The devil will either send a lieutenant, a private. The devil will send a sergeant. The devil will send a captain. It depends on your level of faith and the righteousness that's within you on who the devil will send at you. Word up. If you're really strong, like soldiers like ourselves, the devil will send a major. He'll send a major. And that major gonna consist of murder. The major gonna consist of coming in your home. The major gonna consist of robbing you, beating you up, pistol whipping you. What you gonna do now to give up your life? You know what I mean? Lieutenant is somebody that's just gonna come. I mean, a private is somebody that's just gonna come and talk about you. Like, yeah, you know they podcast ain't gonna be shit. You know that podcast ain't gonna be shit. Right. That's a private. Right. But the major, once we eating, the major gonna be sitting outside because he think we coming out with money in our pockets. And so he gonna hit us. And now we even know who he is because he set us up. So we got to get him too. Those are majors that come. Does that make sense? Majors, privates. So in our path, and not just in our path, in anybody's path, you got to find a way to stay faith-based. Just in case, because you can't do it on your own. Mammon can't do this. The flesh is going to listen to the negativity. But if you stay faithed up, I keep myself surrounded with certain things that keep me in the middle so Satan doesn't get to me. But if you stay faithed up, then the devil is going to run through privates, you're going to run through lieutenants, captains, and all of them.
On my phone 2-3 times a month in the feds, young dude. He'll be coming home probably end of the year next year. He excited about what's going on. Do I still got the club? Do I still do this? Do I still do that? I guess, is he one of the 5,000? Because I got another one just text me today from the West Coast. Who was was that? Somebody just said somebody in Arkansas. Was that one of y'all I was talking to? One of they people in Arkansas? I was talking to somebody.
I'll be pushing through Arkansas.
Somebody
to
in
Dallas.
the feds in Arkansas. Damn. I forget what it was. But anyway, another homie from the West Coast. He'll be coming home at the end of the year too. You know, a lot of that be sounding good. Then I just
While
explained
you're in
last
there.
time, I just explained last week how my little brother, 15 through the door, he say he'd rather work at McDonald's from the shit that he experienced. Well, you gonna get your chance when you out here to be with McDonald's wherever you want to be at.
He just talking.
But
It's the freedom moment.
My thing, I was just telling my people the other over the weekend, it's okay to just say, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Just
refresh
be
air.
here.
Yes.
Take some time off. Just appreciate just being here after all that time. A lot of people don't like. I get where you coming from. 5,000 just to get 100. That's beautiful because people speak highly of you. And some people might have their own version of you. I might have my own version of you. But the reality of life is that I got an uncle. I was just saying, finna be 71. His house paid for. He hitchhiked to California over 40 years ago. You know, what's the person end game?
What's the different path? What's the different path?
This
What's
is
the
the path.
different path?
Reentry. I heard you talking about reentry. And reentry rolls into generational poverty that leads to financial freedom. Now, what that looks like for a brother that's coming home from the penitentiary, any brother that's serious about the change of his life, because we come up with the most brash and innovative ideas while we are in the penitentiary. We come up with the most, for real, man, the most boss plans. If we're not thinking about getting a connect in the joint, and you still over there in the blue pill area, because you're in the penitentiary for a reason, you fail. You failed the 9th grade.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question real quick, cuz? Can I ask a question real quick? So listen to me, man. I've never been in jail, right? I've never been in jail. If you're in jail, and I was talking to my friend about this, and check me if I'm wrong. You got 15 years, right? You got a whole lot of opportunity to learn a whole lot of different things. What do they do with their time?
He told me
So that's what I was about to get to.
He told me they don't allow you to do it. I'm trying to do this. You got to wait you this stage and this. You can't do this.
No, all that is a lie.
I don't know. You hear all kind of stories that he just
No
said.
excuses on the results. I go up there and I talk to them. Okay. So this is their process. I'm going right back to where I was.
Cool.
I can't lose my place.
Brothers coming. You lost your place.
Brothers coming home.
Your space.
Brothers coming home from reentry. What homies have to do? Stop playing Disneyland while you're in the joint.
What's Disneyland?
Cartoon games. Cartoon games. So when you're in the penitentiary and you're sitting down and you're coming up with your master plans, because a lot of us will write shit down. Me and Freddie Tuggle, remember Freddie Tuggle? And there's one homeboy. So we used to write plans down. We're going to start our blacktop company. We're going to start our landscaping company. We're going this, we're going that, we're going blah, 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 blah. But as soon as we step, it's right back to what we knew before. Because that other shit looks uncomfortable. That's what I was talking about, that comfort avenue and that uncomfort avenue. So while you're in there, first and foremost, it takes commitment. And it's going to take commitment when you get home. It takes commitment, discipline, as well as the motivation to pursue your goals and your dreams and your plans of what you just came up with in the penitentiary. Because you have a lot, there's a strong percentage of brothers that come home and they pursue that shit and they get down for real and they never look back, right? But then you got some people like me. I came home, dibbled and dabbled for a minute. I'm like, oh, hell no, this shit ain't for me. My point being is, no matter what you do, if you're coming home from the joint, if you're ever trying to eventually set yourself up to veer off into the red pill avenue versus the blue pill, it all starts with having an understanding of how to go about pursuing generational wealth. How do you pursue generational wealth? How do you pull yourself out of mental poverty, out of generational poverty to get to financial freedom? You set up a plan about poverty. About property. It is the most easiest, it is the most basic situation. You do not need a school. You do not need your actual GED. You got homeboys that have no GEDs or degrees that own all type of land and property, bro. So to my homies that are coming home from the joint, no matter what you do, you have a super fresh start on your record, your driving record. Let's start off with your driving record. Let's start off with your debt, depending on how long you've been gone. Don't worry about that. Your felony will not hold you back from that. When you come home, get your driver's license, get it done. Get it out the way. That's part of your motivation. That's part of your discipline. That is part of your red pill avenue. Get your driver's
First
license.
start.
The next thing that you do is you go ahead and file